Coming into a new role can be very daunting, especially with no experience. Are you looking to transition into a UI UX space and you're wondering, how do I present myself or how do I present my CV, especially coming from an all-related or a temporary field and you don't know what to do about your CV? In this video, I will show you an example of a good entry-level UI UX designer CV and how that is going to help you transition into that role. Stay to the end for a surprise. Let's build a CV for a fictional character which we're going to name Mr. Lagbaja Patrick Aminu. Yes, for Mr. Lagbaja's CV, we're going to break it down into 5 parts. So each of the section will be one part. But before we go into that, let's talk about how you structure your CV. There are 2 different ways you can structure your CV. You can either structure your CV horizontally or structure your CV vertically. The horizontal CV, which is usually the ideal, is because it is clear and concise. People can glance through and see everything, all the details at a glance. With the vertical CV, it's a little bit different because, you have sections where you put your skill, some places you put your contact at the right, and then you put your work experience on the left-hand side. It's a little bit difficult and confusing if you are using the ATS machine or if the hiring manager is looking at it. They're wondering, so where's the skill? Where is this? Just usually, I suggest that you go with the horizontal CV. Now, the first part of the CV, which is usually your contact details. The contact details is very important. This differs for different countries. If you are in the United Kingdom, you want to write everything horizontally and ensure that you are writing your address. You are also putting your contact details, your telephone number, your email address. It's also advisable that you put the link to your LinkedIn and the link to your portfolio there because you don't want to show your portfolio or the projects on your CV, but that link will show or take the hiring manager to see real life examples of works that you have done. Now, let's go to the second section of the CV. The second section is usually your personal profile or your professional summary. This is very important that you are able to tell a detailed summary of who you are, where you have been, and where you are going to. So let's look at this example in Mr. Lagbaja's CV. As you can see, this personal profile has words like I'm detailed oriented, I'm a creative person. It is saying the skills that Mr. Lagbaja has. It's also saying the years of experience, the relevant years of experience that Mr. Lagbaja has, as a UI UX designer, either interning or as a freelance. Remember, because you don't have experience, you want to intern or you want to also volunteer to do certain jobs. That would also be shown on your personal profile. Another thing that will be shown and is really important on your personal profile is you want to write the role that you're applying for. Many a times when I review CV, I see people writing beautiful personal profile without saying the role that they're applying for, and that keeps the person, the hiring manager, confused. What role is this person looking for? They'll just put it aside because it is not detailed in them. Another tip is to ensure that you are using the structure of the country that you're looking, that you are applying for. For example, if you're in the United Kingdom, you don't write the detail of the job on top. But if you're in places like Africa or other countries, it differs. Resume structuring differs in different parts of the world. But this example will give you that word. So make sure you use actionable words. Don't use a lot of jargons that you don't understand. Make sure, because you're an entry level, ensure that you're using words that you can defend. Ensure that you're putting the skills that you have. Ensure that you're using the tools that you have used before so that when you are called upon, you can explain it. So the third section of the CV is the work experience. You will be wondering, I don't have experience. So what am I going to write there? I have also said that we must make sure that we have interned or we have volunteered. Some of these could be your personal businesses or your personal designs that you've done. You want to put that there. So back to Mr. Lagbaja's CV. As you can see, Mr. Lagbaja wrote on his profile statement that he has 12 months, experience as an intern in Lagbai industry or in Lagbai company, right? So if you look down on the work experience, Mr. Lagbaja has put here that he has worked in Lagbai industry and he has also been a freelancer. Another tip that I say to people is if you are coming from an unrelated field, but you've done things that are relatable. For example, you've come from an unrelated field, but you have communicated, utilized empathy, and these are the skills that are needed in the UI UX design space. Ensure to put that, but make sure that you section that under the other work experience, right? I like to use relatable work experience or relevant work experience and others, or you can just say UI UX work experience and other work experiences. That tells the recruiter that these work experiences are not a UI UX experience, but this person is not a newbie in the corporate world. So you want to also showcase that there. The most important thing under your work experience is to ensure that you are putting your achievements. You're using numbers, you're saying the things that you have done, you're using action verbs like created, like revamped, like redesigned. You're using those words that showcase what you have done. So for example, Mr. Lagbaja here said that he worked on an e-commerce website. So he's put it there that he revamped, he redesigned that e-commerce website, showcasing to the hiring manager that although he's looking for an entry-level role, he has been a freelancer and he has done a design job. Although we will train this individual, he has an idea, he has the basic idea of this role. Going to the fourth section. So the fourth section is where you show your skills. It depends on the country that you are coming from. So back home in Africa, a lot of us just list those skills. But coming here to the United Kingdom, I have realized that you have to write those skills and then just showcase how you have utilized the skills, in projects, using examples of your previous roles, so that it just shows to the recruiter or to the hiring manager that this person understands this thing. They have utilized communication. This is how they've used communication and they've showcased it on their CV. Another important point that writing, detailing your skills helps to do is it helps you pick the keywords from the job description. So let's take an example, right? For this particular UI UX role, we are picking the soft skills. And the reason why we're picking the soft skills is because this individual, Mr. Lagbaja, does not have any experience. So he hasn't worked in a corporate space. He's only interned and he has done a lot of freelance jobs. So Mr. Lagbaja here is picking things like communication. He's picking things like research, user research. He's picking things like that. And he's also picking, the hard skills like the design thinking and strategy. He's picking the agile methodology. There are so many other soft skills that you can pick from, things like empathy, because as a UI UX designer, you want to understand what motivates the users. So for Mr. Lagbaja, when he was talking about communication, he talked about when he convinced a client. So that client they have their design preference, and Mr. Lagbaja was able to convince him to look at a user-centric approach. How did he do that? You can do that with great communication. Remember that as a UI UX designer, you have your designs in mind, but again, it is the client and it is the users that you are working towards. The last section, so section 5 is talking about your toolkits. So the toolkits like WordPress, like Webflow, like Figma, all of those toolkits. Again, I used to say to people, when you go and look at the job description and you've seen certain tools that are required for that job, you can go research, these things and just play around with it so that when you go for the interview, you are able to, you can articulate how you've used it before, and people seeing and hearing you understand that you know what you're saying. So back to the toolkit. He has listed the toolkits. Mr. Lagbaja, as you can see on the CV, he has listed the toolkits. He has also listed his education and certification. And there is really no format to use in this section because you want to showcase that which is more important, right? So you want to showcase, for example, your certification, if you've got the right certification for that role. If you don't have the right certification for the role, I will be pointing, my toolkit out there because you want to showcase your strength to that reader. Remember, it takes about 6 minutes for a recruiter or hiring manager to glance through your CV. Are they seeing those points that are important? So you want to showcase those points that will make them glance on your CV. and select your CV. That's what it's about. Then your education. Do you have the relevant education? Are you coming from the computer space? Are you also coming from marketing space? Or do you not even have any? So are you a business administrator or coming from human resources, for example? You don't want to put that first. You want to put things that showcases UI UX design. You want to show all of that on your CV. So guys, I'm going to be leaving this CV that we have created in the description box. It's a downloadable format, so you can download it and edit it. But like I usually say, play around it. Make sure that it aligns with the country, whichever country you are in. Make sure that it aligns with the job description. Make sure that it aligns with the things that you know. Don't pick jargons, don't pick terminologies because they are big, they're fancy and everybody uses it. You want to express yourself. Remember, your CV is an expression of yourself. So this CV for Mr. Lagbaja is a winning CV. It's going to give him that job because he has showcased, he has structured it properly. He has also showcased his skills. He has showcased the experience, the relatable experience. He has also showcased his transferable experience on the CV. So guys, we have come to the end of this video where we showed Mr. Lagbaja's CV from how he created that. We created it together, as you can see, and I've also said I've dropped it in the comment section, a downloadable format in the description box where you can see the CV and work with it. It's something that you can use, so don't feel shy. So now that we've come to the end of the video, I just want to say thank you to everyone that watched till the end, and make sure that you download the CV and share with your friends and family. Ensure to like this video, share this video with your friends, and click the notification icon bell should we have more relatable tips that are coming your way on how you get that new job or how you land your dream job. Until we meet in our next video, bye.